Today, we're delving into a story that's sparking deep emotions across the UK. It's a story that questions fairness, tradition, and whether politics has a place in national remembrance. Nigel Farage, a prominent British politician and leader of the Reform Party, found himself at the centre of an unexpected and controversial decision this Remembrance Day. For years, Farage has been a polarising figure in British politics, known for his outspoken views and strong sense of patriotism. Like many political leaders, he planned to participate in this year's Remembrance Day ceremony by laying a wreath, paying tribute to the fallen soldiers who sacrificed their lives for Britain. But in a decision that took many by surprise, Farage was reportedly told he wouldn't be allowed to lay a wreath this year. Supporters of Farage and others who question this decision argue that Remembrance Day should be about unity, not divisive technicalities. For them, Farage's exclusion goes beyond a simple rule. Many believe it speaks to the discomfort some establishment figures have with Farage's influence, presence, and resonance with certain parts of the British public.
To people, basically, they don't want a picture of Nigel Farage holding a wreath in that picture. That's what's going on here. And, well, let's wait and see. All of these other parties can get their own special deals, their own special amendments, their own special arrangements. But when it comes to Reform UK, they've got more votes than the Lib Dems, the DUP and the Scott Nats put together, combined. Nigel Farage was not allowed to be laying a wreath alongside the others. And I'm sorry, I'm actually pretty wound up about it.
Whether you agree with him politically or not, to many, he's a patriot and his exclusion struck a nerve. This isn't the first time that smaller parties have participated in Remembrance Day ceremonies. For years, political leaders from large and small parties have taken part, representing a wide range of beliefs. This inclusivity has been part of the ceremony's unifying power. By allowing all parties to pay respects, the event reflects a spirit of national unity, showing that remembrance is greater than political differences. But with Farage excluded, many felt that this tradition of inclusivity was undermined. Watching from a distance, barred from honouring the fallen, Farage's presence on the balcony became a symbol of exclusion. It was an emotional image for his supporters and others who empathised with him, a man wishing to honour Britain's fallen, left apart from the ceremony.
And why Nigel Farage was not able to lay a wreath. Have a look at Stephen Flynn. This is there were 9 prime ministers, by the way, yesterday there in attendance, which I think is the first time there's been such a high number. But Stephen Flynn, who's the leader of the SNP in Westminster, was there. I don't know why he bothered. Have a look. So for those of you who can't see that, he's basically standing behind Ed Davey, not singing the national...
This simple yet powerful image resonated with thousands, sparking conversations and highlighting frustrations around political bias creeping into events that should remain above party lines. The Department of Culture, Media and Sport oversees guidelines for events like the Remembrance Day ceremony, ensuring traditions are upheld fairly and impartially. This department faced criticism for its role in excluding Farage and the Reform Party, with many questioning whether the broader message of this day was fully considered. Many believe that Remembrance Day, more than any other day, should reflect unity and respect, keeping politics completely separate from this solemn tradition. Critics argue that even if the protocol exists, it should be applied consistently and transparently, without appearing selective. By enforcing this rule on Farage, but not on others, the department raised questions about the impartiality and true spirit of the event. Some called for greater transparency in the decision-making process, emphasizing the need to avoid politics overshadowing such a sacred moment. At the heart of this issue lies a simple truth: Remembrance Day is a day for honoring those who served. It's a day for reflection, unity, and respect. Many feel that excluding any party on this day undercuts that spirit, no matter one's political stance. Excluding Farage, especially on a day that belongs to all Britons, has left many people wondering whether this decision was truly in line with the spirit of Remembrance Day. In the end, this incident has served as a reminder of the day's purpose to honour the sacrifices of the past while upholding values of respect and unity.
My God, what an absolute disgrace! Nigel Farage and Reform UK were snubbed and not allowed to lay a wreath at the cenotaph for Remembrance Day. Really? He is probably the most patriotic politician in the whole of Westminster, and they wouldn't allow him to lay a wreath alongside all the other party leaders. Their excuse was that the rules state that a party must have at least 6 seats. In the House and Reform UK only have 5. So Nigel and Reform UK do not qualify to be able to lay a wreath. But hang on 1 minute. The DUP only have 5 seats and their deputy leader, Gavin Robinson, was allowed to lay a wreath. So what the hell's going on? Yet again, this is the establishment making up the rules as they go along, just to suit their own narrative. Apparently, this rule has been in place since 1984. Ridiculous. What is the problem? I'll tell you what the problem is. The establishment is scared of Farage's influence in the UK, and they know that he would get more coverage and more respect from the British public on Remembrance Day than Starmer ever would, and they don't like that. How can they be allowed to ban and stop the most patriotic British politician from laying a wreath on Remembrance Day? This is just disgusting.
As Britain reflects on this incident, many hope that, moving forward, Remembrance Day will remain a truly inclusive occasion, one that honours all who served, regardless of political affiliation. It's a day meant to unify, not divide, and to respect the courage and dedication of those who have given everything for their country.